Let's pretend I'm talking again to my girlfriend in Montana, the one I was living with when Martha Gellhorn wrote to me, acknowledging a great sense of urgency in addressing the issues that I was raising regarding Mount Desert Island as a function of the AIDS attack. And this girlfriend says, "Oh, I thought of you during COVID, but until Gaza was subjected to genocide by those people you were talking about, I was just sure that Paul McCartney must be right and you just wanted a virgin." I would say to her, what sort of locker room talk made you convinced that I wasn't telling the truth, my old friend? After all, you saw how concerned I was and that Martha wrote to me. You saw the war game consume the unions with adversarial mockery of me. You saw Obama ride high by going low. You saw me being castrated over a virgin who was untouched, being castrated for refusing and protesting coercion to date rape. You remember all that? We discussed it. You saw the so-called Lenin manuscript emerge in the context of an investigation into the AIDS attack. What could you have been thinking? Well, she would say, we all knew Paul McCartney was in on it, and how he would say, people are weird. They want to go along with their own attackers. People are weird. Texas Queer has sided with Tojo Ronan like Ms. Goto. Well, what about the Revenge for Auschwitz warning? That was in loud and clear and in print. Well, so was the comment, yeah, sure, tied her up and porked her with a carrot. Well, let's clarify what that was. That was Neva Corporation's soundtrack that was entered in input long after the event, and the woman was still going to Genesis singing by the pound with my tickets with the man who she was having fun with. They were fooling around. They were all people, patrons of Climax One. And they told me about this. It was something I didn't want to hear. They showed me, they kidnapped and battered me. Let's get clear what Jaime Carbonell is selling here with the Neva pornographic hooker, Andrea. Let's get that clear. Why do you not see that as suspicious to find extruding Mr. Carbonell from Pitt's philosopher of education's son, whose obituary was all scribbled with discourtesies from the Green Party? Why do you not find that suspicious, Carbonell? And Carbonell says, because the Panther was a vodka that leapt like a raging tiger, and we are supposed to be stricken with awe. Stricken with awe. The production company wants a Bushnell, and Jaime Carbonell is morally obligated to be that Bushnell. Well, Robert Fripp has a doozy with his Robert card at the bowling alley. He's going to dangle his pick and drop it because virginity has proven rape to him. What does this girl actually do that he's defending? She goes out screaming in the woods, going to rape, kill, pillage, and burn, going to rape, kill, pillage, burn any babies. She's an Australian Zionist named Katz, like Israel Katz. Leslie. Well, that's quite a name. Lesbian lie. for virginity proves rape. Well, Fripp has the answer to everything. He has Abdul, the terrorist, going on KDK radio, actually a Trump speechwriter, an Israeli berserker from the Zionists who is implicated in museum theft. And he says, I am Abdul. No one is innocent. Oh, Fripp, you're so amazing. That's not going to be investigated. That's a product. A product. And they had me in an aerosol gray machine, just like they use paralysis on me. Paralysis is one of Ona's fetish weapons. They used paralysis on me. I have Parkinson's from what they pulled. They tortured me. They used an aerosol gray machine. I was like Zelig in the Electric Cat. And they mocked me as Zelig in Electric Cat. They mocked me as you don't even have a face to call your own. I couldn't make contact when they were talking with me about Jim Croce. I couldn't even put the phone on the hook to hang it up because they had used paralysis on me. And Peter Gabriel was working in partnership. Peter Gabriel with an Attica State Prison psychiatrist who just happened to be my neighbor in Pittsburgh. And he just happened to have a mother named Edith, as Fripp did. And he just happened to have a same sister named Patricia, as Fripp does. And he just happened to do this all under the vespers of Nicole the Walrus. And Ono just happened to know exactly where to go looking for it, for her product company in cahooter with Gail Burson. Whoa! That ain't local.